Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Santa's Workshop. Today, I'm finally getting on the drive line, and we've got Delbert here.
Hey, guys.
Help.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's trying to be a YouTuber, too.
Trying.
He's trying to get prettier toys than me. And we also got Brian in the shop. Oh,
there
Brian, he's been down for a little bit with a belly surgery. But I want you to look what he is a-doing. He is cleaning up his intake for his tea bucket. We're going to be starting on that real soon, ain't we, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the reason why I moved Jim's pickup over, so I can pull that front clip back off and get the frame extensions welded on and get everything fitting right. And I'm going to start working on his motor, getting it together and seeing if we can get it running. And we're going to set his tea bucket up pretty much right where Brian's standing. We're going to lay it out this way. That way we have room for another car to come in. And also, if I need to set up the paint booth, we can take the tea bucket, run it into that area, move Jim's outside, and my paint booth will fit up between those two uprights on that door right there, all the way to about where the welders are. So it's a big booth, and I'm excited to use it. Thank you, Jason S. I'm thanking him for a lot of stuff.
You thank him for a lot. I thank him for just being there for you.
I tell you what, he is, for somebody I have never met in person, he's a great friend. And
I'm getting to know him a little bit.
Yeah. But he's going to be here this next month.
I know.
Yeah, because we're going to do a first start on that thing.
It's getting close, isn't it?
It's coming together. It is really close.
Oh, man, you guys should see this in person. The camera doesn't do it any justice.
But as you'll see on my last week's video, we got the radiator core support redone. And when I say it's a close inside that frame rail, it's a close. And Delbert's already trying to steal it from me. Look at this.
Hey, the shifter's a little bit too forward for me. Can you switch that out a little bit?
No. But I do have to get me something to fit underneath this so that radiator will fit a little tighter. It's just, this is really good and stiff. It's good. I'm going to have to figure out what to do there. I think I've got an idea. We'll just see how well it works.
I think it'll work just fine. Your ideas will usually do.
Yeah.
Even with a couple of adjustments.
I started to say you haven't seen how many adjustments I have to make. But anyway.
I know it doesn't happen the very first time. It never does.
Well, let's get over here, and I want to show y'all what I am going to do to start out today's video. This is the drive line out of the Caballero. And I want you to look. This right here is plastic. And what they do when they put these in from the factory, they have a liquid plastic. There's a hole on either side. Let's see if I can, yep, there it is. Hole on either side. And they shoot liquid plastic in that to hold the caps in. Well, before you can knock these out, I mean, you can knock them out, but you're going to have a fight doing it. But what we're going to do, we're going to take our torch, we're going to heat these up, and we're going to watch those just ooze out. So I want to give Delbert the camera and let him kind of watch while I do this and move around to get the right angle. And we're going to show him some fun stuff.
Yeah, finally.
All right, I want to pass it off to him and we'll get started.
Well, look at there. We got fire. Got us a little fire. I like that.
Yeah, you don't want it too hot. You don't want to cut it. You just want to heat. You don't want to stay in one position. You just want to circle. Yeah, don't stand in front of it there, Delbert.
In front of what? I wouldn't do that.
You see it coming?
Yeah.
Both sides.
I can see it barely on this one, but yeah. It didn't pop though. I was hoping for the pop.
I'm sure we're going to have one pop sooner or later.
There it went.
I have never had one do that to me before.
There it is.
Brian,
There it is right there.
that shot the cap out. Have you had that happen?
Yeah, long time ago.
Oh my goodness. Yep, she did.
That hit the frickin'
Well, that was exciting. Santa, you okay over there?
I'm kind of that. Wow.
Maybe too much heat?
Well, I'm not sure. But I'm standing back on this one.
Yeah, I think I will too, man. I'll zoom in, but I'm not gonna get close. There we go. They'll still see it really well, just we're both out of the way.
I mean, if all the caps would come out like that, it'd be easy.
Think it had that much pressure on it?
Well, I think it was just that one cap because of the fact that it was sealed inside there. That grease heated up.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not coming out no more.
Whew. I think I'd do the little one first.
The small one?
Yeah, because
This is going to fly your way if it goes.
yeah, I'm gonna go off to the side a little bit. I got a little bit of protection. I got the gas bottle in front of me.
Oh, that's protection. Those aren't, there they go.
Probably shouldn't heat up enough.
Yeah.
Oh, that first one kind of shocked us, I think.
That first one didn't shock me. It scared the peppermint out of me.
So if you guys don't have a torch like this, you could probably use a nap gas. to
Yeah, a
do the
little
same thing.
propane torch will work.
Little nap gas though. Nap gas there. Yellow bottle.
There it comes shooting out.
Makes a heck of a mess though, doesn't it?
Boom!
Well, you did face it towards me. Come on, there we go.
That's something the way that just shoots out of there, isn't it?
Yeah. Got a good view of this one.
I want to kick your you-know-what.
Who was that? Brian? You
That
little
was
dirty
Brian.
dog, you. You little dirty dog. He's laughing his butt off over there. See that piece of wood over there? He dropped it on the floor flat.
Well, next time he goes out there to take a leak, I want to get the air horn after him.
If I fired an air horn, you just shot through that door.
I don't know, I almost went thin.
He jumped pretty good, that's for sure. We ain't done yet. It still could happen. We got fire. We got fire.
Fire in the hole. All right, go ahead and pause it. All righty. After getting the patootie scared out of us.
Yeah. Again, that was fun getting the patootie scared out of us, wasn't it? Huh?
It woke me up.
Yeah.
All righty, Delbert, bring that thing over here and we
All
can...
right, we're going to get that a little bit close so you guys can see on... oops, too much. Ah, it went too fast. There we go. Oh, look. Let's move this over here. There we go. All right, there we go.
I didn't know what I was doing. And I done what you did. I think it blowed the caps through the back of the garage.
Oh, jeez.
I gotta hold this with the other arm. What do you want to do first? The little one?
I want to do the loose one here, or the
Bring it
snout.
over that way there.
Chuck that thing up on the lathe and clean it up.
And my lathe ain't long enough, or I'd be doing it. Yep, too long. A shorter one, nope. There it goes.
That's a good thing to have that there. Oh, you went too far. Now you gotta do all that again.
That's okay.
Damn, that's stinky. Stinky. Plastic.
Yep, plastic and grease and. After we get this snout off, we're going to set up the electrolysis machine, and we're going to get that rust and stuff off of it, and then I can get it polished out. It'll slide right in the back of that transmission.
And not mess with the seal.
Yep.
Give it a good seal.
Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
No, this is not slow motion. There it goes. Probably still hot. Hot?
Yes, it is very hot.
I thought it might still be.
And for those stubborn little buggers that just don't want to go,
Got it. One hit
like
does
that.
it all. All right, that's it.
now then, we're going to go over there and get my electrolysis machine, electrolysis machine
I've had that.
set up. And I want to cook this thing for a couple of hours. All right. We got our yoke in here cooking in the electrolysis machine. We're going to let that go for a while, see if I can get all that rust out of those splines.
Rust, splines? What
Yeah.
are we talking about here? Oh, yeah.
Sort of like Randy's Mustang.
The splines, that's it. Those things that go on the
Yeah.
drive shaft. That's the word I was looking
Yeah. All right. Well, next thing we got to do is get this straightened up. All right. After that little explosive turnaround, I got her cleaned up and painted. I want to clean the paint that I got in here out. I think that's good enough. These U-joints have something that I hadn't seen before. Every greasable U-joint I've ever gotten has had one right in here. This one is on the end. So what I'm going to do, for balance sake, I don't know if it's going to make any difference or not, on each end I'm going to put this one on this side, the other one on the other side. At least that way they're 180 out, and hopefully that doesn't affect the balance. But it seems like just having that little extra weight out here at the side would cause that thing to vibrate to me. But I may be wrong, I may be overthinking it, I just don't know. So that is how I'm going to do it. Okay, now that the drive line is in, I can start on this exhaust. And I'm going to start out by making me a tool. What I'm going to do, so I got this piece of mild steel 3-inch that I've had laying around. I'm going to cut the swedged end off, and I'm going to split it. Now I'm going to put me a nut and a bolt on it. We'll tack them on to where I can tighten it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to get a smooth mark on my stainless steel pipe. So when I cut it with my die grinder, I'm not an inch off when I get around it. So I can make a nice smooth cut. First thing I'm going to have to do is get the inside edge cleaned up. That way I'm not marking it in blood. And let's see here, that is just a little bit too wide. You know what, I think I'm just going to freehand this. And y'all can see exactly how bad I come out. Get my gloves on here. Okay. You can see how nice and straight this side is. That's why I need a tool. And what I want to do is I'm going to split this right in the center. But I want to leave it attached. That way I'm going to do my bolt on each side, weld my nut here, weld a bigger nut here so that bolt can twist, and that way I can tighten it up without losing my edge. So let's get the welder set up and we'll get on that. Alright. This don't have to be exactly centered, but closer to it the better. There. Don't want to compromise my ring. Need my nippers. Okay. Took me longer to set up the welder than it did do that. Now then. There. Now, there's no doubt where the straight edge is. Go ahead and get this and clean up the backside. Alrighty now. Let's let that cool. And I'll go and measure for my first pipe I'm going to cut. Alright, I tried to get y'all in here where you could see what I was doing. And I'm going to try. We're going to have to put a squiggle in here to get around this floorboard. I'm trying to figure out which is the best. I think right here looks pretty darn good. And a half to 14 looks like. I want to do 14. Let's see about this other side. And a half, 14. 14 and 9.5. Okay, let's go cut us some pipe. Okay, first one is 14. Has our deal cooled down enough? I think so. Right on that 14 mark. Let's Hold it nice and steady. Sharpie's trying to give out on me. And no scratches to the stainless. I love it. Quick, easy tool to make. Might talk to Brian at Lunar Outlaw Garage, see if we can make some plastic versions of that. Call them straight cuts. Alrighty, here we go. All right, as you saw in the time lapse, I want to cut this right here. This is actually going to let me come all that way until this thing kind of binds up on the curve. So I should be able to have plenty of room. Let's see, do I want to? No, I don't want to cut it out there. I think I want to bring it up to there and see. We'll see how that looks. And I can do it on both sides. That way, I am not going to cut it too far. You can always cut it again, but you can, I guess you can weld it back on, but man, I don't want to. I think a trip to the store to buy me some new Sharpies is in order. All right, I'll take this clamp back off. We'll get back to cutting. Okay, kind of put you here at the back so you can see how this thing is going to line out. Kind of like that. That looks pretty darn good. There's a bracket that goes here, so I'm gonna have to make sure I get it far enough below that so I can actually turn that. Don't want to get it too low though. All right. Now then. Slide it off of that. This one here Actually needs to come out just a bit more. Still got enough slide that I can turn that. I don't think I want to cut it quite as short. Okay. All right, let's go cut this other one. All right, let's see how this one lays out. Oh yeah. Yep. I think I'm gonna put this little bracket up, that way I see where I'm going. And go from there. If I need to, I can bring it out, bring it back in, actually angle it just a little bit. All right, let's get a bracket put in real quick. Really? All right, for the next part of this video, I'm going to be tacking together my exhaust under here, and for that, I'm going to be using my new welder, the Arccaptain 205 or MI205Pro. This thing is a multi-function welder. It can do MIG, lift TIG. It can do stainless wire MIG. It can do aluminum wire MIG. Lift TIG, that's where you arc it and then lift off. It starts in slow. That way, if you're working with very, very thin material, you don't burn right through it the instant you start. MMA welding, which is regular stick. It can do flux core, gas. It's a great multifunction welder, and haven't never used one of these. So I'm going to put you on a time lapse, and we're going to get this thing set up, and we're going to use it the first time tack welding that exhaust. Okay, y'all are learning to ride along with me right now. Okay, turn counterclockwise to remove the spool knob. All right, what I got is the Blue Demon welding wire that I got through Amazon. And on an underside roll. Oh, got me a sticker. Oh, speaking of stickers, check out what Arccaptain sent with this one. So we're going to cover that up for Santa's channel. I'm a dad and a welder. Nothing scares me. I can believe that. I can believe that. There's that. We got our lock. Got our spring. Okay, spool is in. Now then, I need to find the correct roller for this. Okay, keep my finger on that wire. There. All right, let's plug it up and get some power to this thing. And we can spool that wire on through. Pop goes the weasel. All right. Here's my 030 tip. Now this comes with 035 tips and wire, but I really like using the 030, especially doing what I'm doing. I'm sure welders out there yelling at me going, "Why are you using that? You don't need to be using that. Well, it's what's always worked best for me. So that's what I'm using. Get our nozzle on there. Trim our excess. Boom, that's gone. That is ready to go. Now then, let's pull this here. The fun of pulling it off for the first time. Yeah. Okay. It's showing it's got MIG with the spool gun, stick welder, MMA, or TIG. Then you have your setting for your wire. Then you got your straight CO2, your mix, flux, CRNI, and AMG, not sure what that is. SIN, 2T, 4T spot, and of course your settings. And I'm gonna bring this up here. Here is a list of all your main settings. Okay, we're gonna be using stainless, 308 LSI, V-groove, which is the same for all the other solids. Polarity, Arco to Argon CO2. Your flow rate is 17 to 25, regardless of what setting. We're using 3030 wire. Then we just got to figure out the gauge. Okay, the best I could figure out, it's probably between a 19 and a 16 gauge. Couldn't find no information on the deal where I bought it. So .19 gauge is saying, let's see here, let's do mode, MIG, spool gun, TIG, MMA, okay, MIG. We need a 16.2 to an 18.3, so I'm going to do 16.7. Okay. Then 252. .252. 6.3. Okay, that should be set. Now then, I want to turn this off and see if the setting saves. Okay, it's off. .252, 16.7, saved right where I would it. Okay, well, I'm going to get everything under the car set up, and we're going to try welding something.
This stuff.
All right, we got it tacked up in there finally. After yesterday, I fought this thing all day long, and then Delbert shows up.
I'm hiding. There we go.
It gives me the extra hand to hold these things where they're supposed to be. And I want you to look at how straight and nice those are. They lay out really perfect, both sides. And which was really weird because the passenger side header is a little bit higher than the driver's side.
It is, yeah.
It's the same set of headers. They're both Hooker hooker ceramic coated headers, but with those 45s and able to twist, when they hit right here together, they're even.
Oh, I want to remind them that you told them that you would hook up that ground wire once you put the bracket on it. It is hooked up. So
yes, there's my ground wire on the bracket.
In case you can't see, that little thing is right there.
Oh yeah, we got a good shot in here. But that goes to the torque converter lockup. So that is hooked up.
I just don't want nobody getting on your videos going, hey, you didn't show us if you did that line or not. So
yeah, Brian was kind of appalled at me that I hadn't tightened up any of the suspension bolts.
Well, you told him why.
Well, yeah, but you know, I don't think he heard. But you have to have the weight of the car on the suspension before you tighten those up. If you tighten them up before you do, you're going to be going squeaky, squeaky, squeaky all down the road. And I don't want that. So, we're going to get the, I didn't show them the notches. I put 2 notches, one right there through both the rings, and one right here. That is not going to bother the V-band at all, but it'll show you where the lineup is. So when you put these back on, you can line them up like you're supposed to and get the exact same result every time you pull them off or take them on.
At least from this point of view.
At least from this point, yeah, that's right. All right, let's get these things knocked loose and get them out of the car. And
they're in there.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a screwdriver and separate them. They lock in when they're in. But we'll get these out. Whoa, look at Mr. Muscles here.
It's called leverage. Oh, that's still so pretty.
Oh, yeah. Wait till I get done. It'll look like that one. All right, the Arccaptain MIG205 seems to be a really, really nice little unit. Of course, the more I play with it, the more I learn the settings on it, the better it's going to be. But one thing I do really like about this, the gas purge, you can hit that and it'll flow gas through, so you can set your flow meter. You can gas something up if you need to on the inside, whatever, but it don't shut off until you hit it again. Your different modes, you got MIG spool gun, TIG, and wire welding. Now, I had some issues with it when I first started. I want to tell on myself. I could not get this thing to throw an arc for nothing. Everything worked, but I couldn't get to throw an arc.
Until?
Until, let me tell the story on myself, Delbert. Until Delbert, or until I realized that this right here, this little plug, has got to be plugged in down here to get the hot to this. That is so you can use the MMA welding, and I just flat missed it. It's on me, but this seems to be a nice little machine. Now, I tried it with the stainless steel wire MIG version, which I have never messed with before, but it seems to just really get up there. Once I get used to the settings, this is going to be a great addition to the shop. Now, I'm going to go ahead and order the MIG torch, or not MIG torch, the TIG torch, so I can, you know, try out the TIG. It comes with the stick welding torch right there. Comes with the flow gauge. Comes with your flow gauge, and I really like the flow gauge deals. You can tell exactly where you're sitting.
It was real easy to set too.
Oh yes, very easy to set. And that's one of the things this right here is really good for. You can punch that, walk back to your gas bottle, set your flow, come back, shut that off, you're good to weld. The sync version, what you can do, you can, and I tried, you know, setting it up through that, and I'm pretty sure I did it right, but you set your thickness of what you're welding, what size wire you're using, what mode you're on, and it holds that in the machine. And what is really neat about this, and Delbert, I don't know if I told you this, it comes with an app for your phone.
No, you did not mention that yet.
Yes.
Did you get the app downloaded?
I have not got the app downloaded yet because I got to shoot with my phone. So my phone is my camera. So
mine too.
I want to come back in another video and show y'all how to use the phone app. But what's really cool about it is if you're under the car, it hooks up to this Bluetooth, and you can change your settings under the car.
That would be super helpful.
Exactly, without touching the welder. And if you find a suitable setting, so you know I got this thing dialed in to where it was just, you know, sizzling like bacon, just absolutely perfect, you save that setting under what you're welding on. So next time you go back to weld that particular thing again, you hit that setting, you're set. You're ready to go. So I am looking forward to getting to know this a lot better. It is, I mean, and look how small it is.
I think the best thing that you found so far, just from hearing you, is that it saved the settings. We could shut it off, unplug it, move it around the shop, plug it back in, turn it on, it came back to the same settings.
Yep.
So that was awesome.
That was very nice. And it's all digital. But yeah, please look into this. MIG205 from Arccaptain. It will make you one heck of a little addition to your shop. All right, Delbert, we did something bad, didn't we?
Oh, we both did. But,
yeah.
But in my defense, I didn't know I had to turn your microphone system on.
Yeah.
Because the one I have, when you plug it into the phone, it turns it on. And when you pull your mics out, they turn on.
This is, you know, what, 10 times the amount of yours? And
yes.
And it doesn't do the neat stuff yours does.
Well, I noticed we checked them out last week, and they were smaller than this as well.
Right.
So how much better do they work? I don't know.
Well, listen, go to Delbert's channel. Everything Changes 23.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And you just put out a video on those
this morning
mics.
I did, yeah. Sunday.
So, yep, and I shared it on my Facebook. So go and check his out. Compare. How does his mic sound compared to mine? And let us know, because I'm going to be upgrading soon.
I would stick with the roadie if you can
Well,
afford it.
I'm either going to go road or I'm going to go with DJI.
Yeah. They're about the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we
Enough
said,
on microphones.
as we said, we forgot to turn them on. But I wanted to kind of voice over that, or I'm either going to turn it into a time lapse and put you some music on it. But here they are. We got these things welded up. They are solid into this car. Now I want to put you up. Let's see. There's the frame, and they're barely hanging under the frame. Oh, Delbert, that looks so good.
It does. It looks better than when we had it mocked up.
Yeah, we got them welded up, and I took the wire, we both took the wire brush and hit them and kind of cleaned up the welds a little bit. Don't look close at my welds. I mean, some of them look really good. Some of them look like a chewing gum spit on a hot summer day.
Well, you were trying to work on that new welder too, with that
Right.
new welder, and get that going.
Well, you can see where I started at. A little better.
Here's one of the best ones over here.
Getting better. Up, back to spitting again. Where's my best one?
I think right there here. This looks really good in comparison.
That one there looks good, actually, on this side. But anyways, they're on there. Everything is welded up. There's going to be no leaks. I've got plenty of room, gap between my...
I know better. You don't hang from the exhaust unless you're trying to take it off.
That's right. And it's stuck, and you got to.
You got no choice. Yeah.
But Delbert, thank you again, buddy. You saved my bacon today.
This was fun, and I like how we got it all. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's so good you couldn't tell that it's not perfect.
Well,
by just looking at it.
here's what I like. You know, when it's on the ground, who's going to see it?
Right.
But if you look under the car, what are you going to see?
You're gonna see all that pretty chrome.
You're going to see
Well,
complete.
stainless steel. Excuse me.
Well, you're looking right here. Let me get one of my hairs out of the way here. You're looking down that drive line. It's perfectly split between the drive line. It's level. Both bins are right there together. Both mufflers are together.
We got all this space up here. We got all this space up here.
I mean, it's much better than what I thought it was going to come out as. But as I was saying, we're going to have to go from here over the drive line and out the back, and I have got to find me enough piping to do that.
We're gonna need the right piece from here to that.
Yeah. We're just going to have to figure that out. We may have to piece something together or cut some slices and bend it and weld it. But you know what? We're going to get it done.
Yep.
And God, that looks good. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I am exhausted.
He's been working harder than I have. Not just today, but yesterday he worked all day on this thing.
I think the appropriate reply would have been, "Ba-doom-tsh." But anyway, we're going to end this video. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be explosive. Guys, thank y'all so much.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. We will see you next time on Santa's Workshop.